People say I ain't no good, and I'm crazy as a loon. Cause I shave my head in the morning, pick guitar in the afternoon. Just like old Chief and Charlie, I like to lay around in the shade. Well, I ain't got no money, but you better believe I got it made. Cause I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this bald-headed country boy alone.
Just want to thank all the March sponsors for the Josh Terry podcast before we get started. Cottonfield Grill, Backroad Park and Event Venue, Lori's Dive-In, Seth, my dude over at Down Yonder Hatco, Mr. Dustin Smith, his chiropractic office over in Eastman. Make sure you check them out. Miss Kimley's Insurance, thank you for letting us stay with y'all the other day. Very much appreciate it. Project K9 Hero, Jason Johnson and them, look them up now. Ron Quick and Miss Sophia at Cashman's and Sophia's and the library, all located in Macon, Georgia. Go to Facebook now and look up Blazer88. My dude, Mr. Josh Ward and Brandon over there. It's a great veteran organization. Go check them out now. And don't forget about our OnlyFans Girl of the Month, Miss Missy. We got 2 more that's going to be jumping on here that we're going to advertise for too. They just haven't sent me their stuff yet, so this ad will change. And don't forget about my dude, Mr. Bubba Marlboro, with hashtag 601 Roofing King. Just thank everybody that's involved. I know some of the sponsors didn't get mentioned on this one, but we haven't finalized your stuff yet because you haven't sent it to me. So once we do, we'll be sure to include you in the next episode. Now, let's enjoy the show. What's up, folks? Thank y'all for tuning into the Josh Terry podcast. This week, if you didn't know, has been a fucking weird week for me. The guy that's like my big little brother was on American Idol on Sunday night. Quickest yes ever is what they're telling me. It's just really fucking cool. His social media is blown up, but before his social media blew up, before he got on Idol, he had some friends, some people that saw how talented and shit he was. More than just us here in South Georgia with him. And on the show with me, a cool fucking dude. Y'all are going to love him. If you don't already know him from social media. From the Tratter house, Mr. Nick Luciano. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm better now. So before I get like super confused, like y'all are the ones that came up with like the Tratter stuff, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It was my buddy BMO, so he went like super viral. He collects toy tractors, and in 2020 he went super viral for putting on this little kid voice and saying tractor as a Tratter.
Yeah.
And it just went absolutely nuts. And then we collabed and moved in, and it just became known as the Tratter guys.
That's cool, dude.
So,
I bet y'all are out there running Texas. There was a girl yesterday that literally sent me a screenshot of you. She saw where, I don't know how this stalker knew that me and you followed each other. But like she sent me a screenshot of you and she was like, "Have you talked to him?" And I was like, "I just got hooked up with him through Will and I'm gonna have him on the show tomorrow." And she was like, "Oh my God, tell him to message me." I was like, "Bitch, sit down. Go on now. Comment."
Well, she better watch the podcast, that's for sure.
You better, dude. How did y'all end up getting into like the music deal?
So Tratter House really pretty much started as like just a collective of friends.
Yeah.
And it was just like, a bunch of content creators. We decided we got a big sponsor. We moved in like downtown, it was like near Plano, Texas.
Yeah.
And at that time, Blake, who's the co-founder of Tratter House, he grew up with Bailey Zimmerman.
Okay.
And so when Bailey signed with Warner, we are like, hey, we talked with Warner, said, hey, let's have Bailey out to the house and pump his new single, Fall in Love, for him. And that was before he like really, really blew up. He had some traction. So we partnered with Warner and had him out to the house. He stayed with us for like 2 weeks. And so we really saw the power of like the collective to actually take artists and boost their stuff.
Yeah.
Because after that came out, it went #1, and then he had Rock in a Hard Place. And I remember sitting down and watching listen to all his music and hearing this and watching the music videos before they came out. I was like, dude, he's about to go big. And then so we did that, and we're like, this works. And we hadn't done it in a while. So you know, our manager found Jay, he found Will off of Instagram, and he was like, this guy has the same potential. And I was like, all right, let's see what he can do. So we got a
Yeah.
place in Nashville, like another Tratter house in Nashville, and we invited Will out, and he played for us. And dude, the first time I heard him live, I was like, dude,
It's
like
fucking
he's
different, isn't it? It fucking
yeah.
hits different.
I was like, this guy's got it. So, um,
That's cool.
yeah.
I didn't know about that and y'all and Bailey. He was
Hmm.
somebody that had to grow on me. Uh, One thing that I've had to learn doing this the past couple years is one, you'll stick your fucking foot in your mouth and it'll kind of rub some people the wrong way. Uh, with him, I kind of was turned off of people that blew
Hmm.
up on social media and then started doing music. Like I like the people that have grinded, the people that played the smoky bars, that played for nobody and all that kind of shit. And I would always like, those are my guys, like the fucking guys that have
Hmm.
grinded, those are my dudes. And then I realized that if you're talented like Bailey,
Yeah.
if you get the option to skip a step, why not skip a step? Like, why not make your life better? Like, there's nothing wrong. But it's more, I've got into the entertainment business, the music business, all that kind of shit. And I see how some people struggle so hard. And that
Hmm.
struggle does make some people better. I believe that it's made Will better. I think that
Oh.
he's got a different perspective, but that's supposed to be Will's journey.
Hmm.
And even Bailey now, like it's like, okay, I didn't see me being more traditional country guy liking his stuff, but I do. I think he's very talented. I met him at a Creative Vets golf tournament that we all played in together last year, and he was super nice to everybody. And I think he's been actually at one of our rounds at Live Oak. He didn't play it, obviously. He was just sitting there chilling in the front row. But it was cool. He's like a real down to earth, nice dude.
Oh yeah, he's like one of the nicest guys ever, and he's so goofy, bro.
Yeah.
Like when you get to know
Oh,
him,
he
he's
looks
just
goofy now. He fucking does.
he's so funny, man. Like I got to know him for a while, and yeah, and I remember just sitting down with him, and I seen his Instagram. He's like, bro, I just hit 20K on Instagram. I was like, let's go, and now I see his Instagram like 1.4 million.
Yeah.
Like he's the type of kid too that like not many people know this, but like he sat down on the couch and he's like, I'm gonna be a rock star. Like I'm gonna do this. And he had drive, even though he didn't know have the experience, he knew that. He's sitting there willing to learn, and he was sitting on good stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you want to skip a step, go ahead, but at the same time, you got to be equipped. So
Yeah.
he was in the background before he blew up. I saw him building that foundation,
Yeah.
and he has that solid foundation, and now it's just up and to the right for him.
That's cool,
So
dude.
like props to him, man. It's like it's been a journey watching him.
That's cool, dude. Well, I know he's turned a lot of people's opinions of him, just the way he acts and everything. So I, I'm
Yeah, and
I'm
I
I'm a fan now.
yeah, and I can't imagine too. I remember I watched his first whiskey jam where he like fell off the stage, like he
Yeah.
was so hyped, and it was just the nerves, and it took to social media, and people were like, "Oh, this kid can't sing, this and that." But like, I was in the room with him where it's just like three of us just chilling, and the dude, he can sing, dude.
Yeah.
And it like the first initial bit of it was like he's just getting nerves and like didn't have much of a stage presence, but now he's just like killing it.
Well, that's where like a lot of folks just don't understand until you're in a room with an artist and it's just you, them, maybe a couple people, and everybody's being quiet and listening. You don't know if that artist is different or not. There's so
Hmm.
many people that they get on stage, they've got their shit tuned the way they want it tuned, or on an album it's so auto tuned or anything like that. You don't know who's good and who's just going to like be different. From the first time I heard Will,
Oh yeah.
I knew he was different. Like, I hate calling him like a baby Chris Stapleton because nobody's Stapleton. Like, no, even Will, he doesn't want that
Hmm.
comparison. But what he's got, it just stands out. And the
Hmm.
fact that everybody's seeing now what me and you and several others have known for the past year or so or more, it's just like, okay, this is going to be fucking cool to watch.
Yeah, it is. It's like I know it's I always say one of my favorite slogans is like it's okay to be a copycat, but you got to copy the right cats. Not saying he is a copycat, but he's got that perfect blend of things that people are already familiar with his own unique twist that we saw and we're like, dude, I'm just happy everybody else is getting to see it. Like I'm just so pumped.
I've been blown away by the comments, dude. And I think he's hitting at a time to where there's a lot of stuff that's on the country charts that isn't technically country, but because somebody put a glittered fucking cowboy hat on and some boots, we're going to call it country. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To each their own. I don't give a shit really. But like, I think there's so many people that hate that and they hate
Mm-hmm.
that this isn't country that when you've got somebody like Will, who's obviously the epitome of a country song, a farm kid from South Georgia that grew up
Mm-hmm.
listening to country, and all he knows how to do is Southern rock, country, gospel, stuff like that. It's like, oh, dude, they're supporting him in the comment section like I haven't ever seen from somebody that just came out the blue to these people.
Oh yeah, and that's what I said. I made some posts about it today because we like you said we have that window where today was we're going to
Yeah,
try to pump number one. So I made some videos and people are like, so much for like inclusion in the country space, and I'm
yeah,
like, dude, it doesn't like it's not about inclusion. It's about what actually like is country and what
yeah.
isn't. So I was like, I'd rather see like somebody who listens to George Strait, Willie Whalen on the daily and uses their inspiration in their music be at the top of the charts than somebody who just made their first country song. And it's like,
Well,
I don't know.
even with me, so this is where the fine line is with me. Is
Right.
like there's a lot of people that's going to even say Hardy's not country or Wallen using the 808s and all that kind of shit, but it's really good. They grew up country. They're putting their own feel to it. They're putting their own vibe to it. The
Mm-hmm.
lyrics in their songs are country. Some of it, but we had like country and southern rock mixed in the 90s with Travis Tritt and everybody. Nobody gave a damn. If you go back to
Mm-hmm.
the 80s, you had traditional country music mixed with some synthesizers, and it was just music of the times. And I love 80s country. It's so fucking weird, but it's good.
Oh yeah.
But like now, it's just where they're taking it away to where you don't even have to put country lyrics in it. You didn't even have to grow up country. You just have
Mm-hmm.
to pretend to be country. Now it's cool to be country again. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's seeing where the money's at, and
Oh.
they're starting to drift to where the money's at. But it's like you're not this.
Mm-hmm.
And the real country fans, the diehards, are the ones that are just they're so against it, and they're craving somebody like Will, Laney Wilson, Luke Combs, folks like that, to where it is obvious that they grew up and they are exactly who they say they are. People, that's what they want back in country music. There's just not enough of that right now.
Yeah, and that's where like I get it. It like is really cool, and I love that people want to come into the space and put their own twist on it. Like props to them for that. But the real thing around country music is like it's the only, and I made a video about this on TikTok. I said country music is the only music that is relatable to a way of life that sustains our our entire country,
Yes.
right? Like farmers and ranchers specifically relate to country music because they live it. And without
Yeah.
farmers and ranchers, the world doesn't go around. So it's like that's why country is sacred. But at the same time, if like hip hop went away, if those hip hop people went away, we would still be living just fine.
Absolutely.
You know?
And
Like,
and see, like what's crazy to me about country music is it's it's everybody. It's not a culture, it's not a color, it's not a state. It's country music usually sings about stuff from the heart, sings
hmm.
about working hard, having a cold beer, all that type of shit. And people are always like, oh God, every country song's about getting your heart broke or driving a truck or your dog dying or whatever bullshit with that. But that's real life. Everybody can identify with that. As much as I
Hmm.
do like certain like old school rap and every once in a while like a new one, I can't identify with I got 12 bitches in a mansion. Like I can't.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it don't like nobody can fucking identify with that.
Hmm.
Country music
Yeah.
gives everybody a voice.
Yeah. And it was literally like like I can't identify with there's some songs out there that are just so raunchy and
Yeah,
like off the cuff that like talk about killing people and they're on the top of the charts and then we wonder why like our society is the
oh,
way it is and
oh,
it's
we're
like
fucked. That's-
yeah.
like
So I mean
I'm a country degenerate. Like I still love the good Lord. He loves me. I'm a Christian. It's
mhm,
not a very good one, but I still have morals. I still have beliefs. I still have things that I stand firm in. And there's just a lot of people that just don't care no more. And
Hmm.
regardless of what your sexuality is, what your religion is, what your, how you vote politically, we're lacking morals. We're lacking, just respect for the other person. And we're going to hell in a handbasket real quick.
Yeah, it's music is definitely one of the things, and that's why I love country. Like we say, like as we get older, we identify with. I've identified like I listen to the old school hip hop and
Yeah.
rap and stuff, but as I get older, it's like country's a move because it's raw, it's real relatable, and it's what I want to put into my mind.
Yeah.
Because what we feed our mind is ultimately like who we become, and
Yep.
it's like I don't want to feed myself anything that is just gonna be negative, that is talking about things I don't align with. And that's why I just love country music because I mean, most of it, yeah, it is drinking beer and having a good time, but who doesn't want to have a good time, you know?
Absolutely,
You
dude.
know?
Like the older I get, which I don't know how old you are, I'm 36.
I'm 27.
Okay, you got yeah. You still not a baby, but God damn, that seems like it was an eternity ago that I was 27. So enjoy it. Uh, like the older I get, the more I even listen to older music. Like the more I
Uh-huh.
like the more traditional country style. Like my two favorites of all times, Keith Whitley at one, George Jones at two, and then
Uh-huh.
Paycheck at three. And it's just where I listen to that more now than I listen to anything current because it's not even the same. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's different. It's just you could say what the fuck you wanted to back then. You could be as real as you wanted to. You could be authentic as you wanted to. You were cool because you were different, not
Mm-hmm.
because like now you got people that, oh, I'm different, but I want to fit in. You
Mm-hmm.
think Waylon or Willie or anybody was like, oh, no, I'm gonna make myself so different, and then I'm gonna complain about not fitting in, or I'm just gonna
No.
be me and fucking y'all just got to enjoy it or not.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. It's like the more you try to be different, it's actually like you're comparing yourself to them and trying to like alter who you are to seem
Yeah,
different rather than just being yourself. And I mean that I feel like you're just gonna get lost in identity. Like Will, like you could just tell when you meet Will, it's just like that's Will.
yeah,
And he's just a good old boy. And like I was like when he called me last night, I was playing I was actually on Fortnite with one of my friends and he heard Will in the speaker on speakerphone in the background. He's like, man, that just sounds like a good dude.
yeah.
And I was like, he is. And like that's the epitome of just freaking being country, you
Yeah.
know?
If you knew me better, you would know that I am such a cynical asshole and I don't like anybody. I automatically think that everyone is bad until like I get to know you. Like once I get
Hmm.
like I don't ever like give anybody the benefit of the doubt. You have to earn my trust. You have to earn everything or I don't want to be around you.
Hmm.
And with Will, it has been from Jump Street. It has been from go that you knew the second he opened his mouth whether it was singing or talking, what he said, what he did was authentic. It was him. It was dude. And then when he actually starts singing,
Hmm.
you're just you want to tell everybody around you, hold on tight, wait a couple years if you think this is good. I've heard him since he's got back from doing some stuff,
Hmm.
and I'm sure you have too. But now he's learning how to use his voice. They're giving vocal coaches. They're like people are teaching him how to actually use his God-given gift. He's honing it in, and it's scary. He
Oh
played
yeah.
he played one of our honky tonk nights in Macon. He opened up for Zach Top 2 weeks ago for me.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, everybody in that place, as good as Zach Top is, and he's a beast. Will stole the fucking show, dude. Like we
Really, dude?
like
I wish I was there.
oh my God. He stole the show. And I was so surprised, which you probably know what this is like. Like your hometown where I'm from, they don't really support you, whether you're an artist or anything like that. Will's hometown, even when we went to film there with Idol, and they showed some of the clips the other night, his hometown came out in droves.
Hmm.
I haven't heard a single person say a bad word about him. It's almost like since the first line of the first song he sang, he had a whole community behind him, and now he's gonna have everybody behind him.
Pretty, and that's just Georgia country singers in general. I feel like there's just a big sense of pride of when somebody comes from Georgia. I don't know why that is.
Dude, because we live it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and Texas is the same way. Did you
Hmm.
say you are for Texas?
Yes, sir.
Texas is the same damn way, dude. Like when you live those songs, it's not. You could never explain it to anybody in a big city.
Hmm.
When you live the songs that everybody's singing, you have such a love, such an attachment that when you hear somebody from your community or you somebody close to you and they grew up the way that you did,
Hmm.
there's something different about it. It just hits because it's almost like you're on that stage. It's like
Yeah.
you see a reflection of you. When I see Will, every time we talk, whether we're writing a song, we're riding down the road, whatever we're doing together, I'm looking at this big fucking child that is a reflection of me,
Yeah.
just way more talented. And it's when we get behind that shit here in Georgia, dude, this we don't let go.
Oh yeah.
There's still and Brantley Gilbert's still good. Don't get me wrong. But his old shit, I don't know how familiar you are with like his old stuff, like early 2000s.
Hmm.
Brantley Gilbert had everyone around here in a fucking chokehold.
Oh, I believe it.
Corey Smith was the same way, like a chokehold. And we don't let go. They're still our boys.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of writing songs with Will, he's a hell of a songwriter too.
Oh boy, is he damn
Like
good.
it's dangerous. Like I remember because we did two stays in the Tratter house for like a couple 4 or 5 days, and we were writing songs, and me and BMO were there and a few other people, and we have this song that we were writing, and we just couldn't think of certain things, and he's just spitting out things left and right. He's plucking and he's just spitting things out, and me and Blake are like, "Ooh, that sounds good," and he just comes up with it like left and right. It's crazy.
Dude, you should have been around. You know Brian Martin?
No.
All right, Brian Martin's got a song, or he's got several out, but he's got the one that's real big right now, We Ride.
Mm-hmm.
Brian's a fucking he speaks in song. Like him and Will our last trip in Nashville or the trip before, like it's been this year. The three of us were together for 3 fucking days solid.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was taking their phone out every hour and writing something down that the other one said. And one night we sat up and we wrote like two really good songs, really good ones. And it was just out of nothing. It was just like all of us hanging out and stupid ideas come to you and everything. But Will and Brian both,
Mm-hmm.
they talk in song. Like it, and then
Yeah.
when they hear something that you say, they're gonna change it up to where it's like, oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. He's got a
It
new one. If he hasn't sent it to you yet about there's no place like home.
I haven't heard that one yet.
As soon as we get done, or if you're on your computer and you want to text his ass now, the one about yeah, whenever I get home or when no place like home, where the fuck it is. He played it for me at the American Idol thing the other night.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's a banger. He's probably got 5 or 6 that are in the just ready to go. What blew my mind the other day, what I told him he should be most proud of, it wasn't getting a number two. Number two
Hmm.
was awesome. And hopefully, like by us doing this and some other stuff going on social media, we'll take one more push before 12 o'clock tonight to get to number one.
Hmm.
But he's had 4 songs that were released, and all 4 were in the top 100. The reason why that's such a compliment is if you go listen to my show for the first time and you like it, you're going to go listen to my back catalog. You're going to go listen to other episodes because you like what I do and who we have on. With an artist, if you like that one song that you knew about and it resonated with you, and you start looking through the catalog and every one of them's good and you're downloading every one of them, like nobody told anybody to go do anything besides download Gone for Good, the one
Hmm.
we're trying to get up to number one. They downloaded the rest of his shit to where he had 4 in the top 100 at one time. So people are just blown away by this kid.
Yeah, that's a super big compliment. I didn't even know that. Like
Yeah,
that's
dude.
that's huge.
I
Like
think he
'cause
had, I think he had 2 that were in top 50, and I think they had one dragging up at 87.
hmm yeah, and that's like I told him the other day. I was like, I said, bro, now we just like it's like a snowball. You just got to keep the momentum rolling,
Yeah.
which I'm confident he will.
Yeah, he's got too good of a head on his shoulders, and whether it's you guys, whether it's us, um, especially the people at Idol that he's going to be able to surround himself with and everything. He, unless he just has like develops a crack addiction, and I don't see that happening in the next couple months. This is gonna be like this is a snowball, just fucking headed straight for hell. This is gonna be hot. This is good. It's not gonna stop. The fact
Hmm.
that we're getting calls, I got calls yesterday from people that are just for some reason they think I'm his manager, and I'm definitely not managing anybody. Like I have a hard enough time managing my life. Uh, but like there are people trying to get in touch with him that some people have to take 10 years. They have to take a long time before these people are recognized. That one night, 5 minutes has done more for him than 5 years before now.
Oh yeah, but like I said, like you were saying earlier, like I felt like that was kind of God's journey for Will to go through that grind
Yeah.
to get him to where he was, like playing football and then just picking up a guitar. And because it's like, man, that's such a gift to just be able to pick up guitar and sing like that.
Yeah.
Like, like it's just insane.
Well, the cool thing to me about it is the songwriting. It'll
Oh
be
yeah.
rare because of those, and I won't even say struggles, but because of the way that he got there, it gives him an opportunity to write stuff that he's felt that he's been through that some other people haven't. And
Hmm.
that's also going to make him connect with the everyday dude, the everyday woman, so much more. And it's just like, I'm glad that that was part of his journey too. I'm because he's going to be able to write those. Man, I'm telling you, just the one I'm talking about, the one I told you about the home while ago. Like
Uh-huh.
it's a cheating song, and it is fucking good. And
Oh, it's the
right,
cheating. Okay, I think I have heard it then.
yeah, he just wrote it last week.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but Riley, by the way, sweetie, if you're listening to this, he did not cheat. That was not the experience that we're talking about here. No, this I'm told. Oh my god! But it's just like him being around degenerates like me. The other folks are around in Nashville, his band, his buddies, and everything. To where some people, unfortunately, I guess it's fortunate that you got to skip it, but also you're going to miss the stuff that's going to make you connect a little bit better. And you're going to
Hmm.
have to depend on other people to write those songs for you. To where Will, he can sit down with a pen and paper right now and write a damn number one, and everybody's going to find out about it.
I know. I just you just see the notes app on his phone. It's like his ideas just don't stop turning, and he's such a grateful dude. Like he's so like just has so much gratitude about him because I remember
Yeah.
when he came to the Tratter house and he's like, so I think Jordan Davis and Aaron Kirby they did a duet
Yeah.
song together, and he's like,
Cameron
bro.
Marlowe.
Or Cameron Marlowe, yeah, not
Yeah.
Jordan Davis. But he's like, that Aaron girl has such a voice. Like, I love to like just sit down with her. And I was like, all right, bet. So I DM'd her on TikTok and she came over to the house in Nashville. And then it just turned into like at the Tratter house, it just turned into this mini writers round because we had Aaron over, we had Ashley Ryan over, we had Andrew Janakis, Trey Lewis, all in the same
Yeah.
room with Will. And they're all just playing their stuff that's coming out. And it was just like it was just all came together. And he was like, man, that was so cool. And I was like, you just wait. Now it's gonna get even crazier.
Yeah, out of all of those folks, every one of them's played my show in Nashville at
Oh
Live
yeah?
Oak. Yeah, Erin's a fucking beast.
Oh
She
my
is to be
gosh.
20 years old. She is a monster. Trey, I love that boy to death. He's so good. The Andrew guy, I've talked to him on social media a couple times, and I've been
Hmm.
trying to get him to come play one of our shows, and we just have never linked up. Uh, but dude, to be around those people and for Will to even come in and be comfortable playing in front of them. Like to not and never to I think the first show he ever played in Nashville was with us
Hmm.
at one of our riders rounds. And you wouldn't have known there was a bit of nerves. You wouldn't have
Mm-mm.
known that there was he got on that fucking stage with whoever he was playing with that night. And you would have thought he'd been doing it. I mean, he's made for this, is the point I'm trying to make. He's literally does not matter what room he walks into, what stage he's on. Everyone hears from the first note, this dude's fucking made for it.
Yeah, and that's it's funny. We went out to Broadway one night and we were with our manager at the time and he loved the guy who DM'd Will and told him to come to the Tratter house. And we go out to like Broadway and there was one band playing in there and he just asked if Will could come up and play a song, and then Will gets on stage and he starts singing, and everybody just goes,
Yeah.
and then you see everybody like this, and I'm like, that's a good sign right there.
Yeah, dude. Well, there's two compliments that I always give an artist where you can know that they're different or that the song's different. If you're at a writer's round and you shut up everybody in the bar because they're paying attention to you, you
Hmm.
know that you've got something. You know that either your voice is incredible and you can hear a pin drop or the song is just so good. And the other one, even though I'm banned from going there anymore, thanks losers. Uh I got Will on stage there one of the first times he went with us and he played, and the way that losers crowd reacted to him,
Hmm.
man, shit. I was like, whoo, this boy's got it. He knows he ain't got to try.
Well, yeah, it was that little stage in the corner there in Losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such an intimate setting too. It's like
Yeah.
that's badass.
Yeah, dude. He's doesn't matter. That's why I think with you, with us, with everybody that knows him, it was he just needed the opportunity because he sucks at social media. A lot of people suck at it. I'm not the best at it. Y'all are really good. Uh, but like some people just need the opportunity to get in front of folks. And if they'll ever get the opportunity, the rest of the world's gonna that know them. And Will took that opportunity on Sunday, and now everybody is obsessed, and they're just gonna keep being obsessed because they know that it's real. They know that that is him, and there's gonna be some good shit come out of it.
Yeah, and I was like, I sat down and he's like, I was looking at his social media, he had 1,000 followers on TikTok. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you how we do it. And dude, he's like going back to being a natural. We filmed a bunch of skits at the Tratter house, and he's just a natural on camera, ain't afraid of nothing. And then the video that really kind of blew up Gone for Good was he hadn't even recorded it yet. And
Yeah.
I was like, let's just freaking, play this song in the shower. And then it gets like 1 million views on TikTok. And I was like, well, you gotta go record that right now. Because everyone is begging for it. And like I said, when social media is just it's so huge for artists
Yeah.
nowadays that it's like you never know what could pop off, especially like when we talk about Bailey and then even Oliver Anthony. Like
Oh yeah.
those are two testaments of just like the power of social media. And same even with Will, when you look at American Idol, got 4 million views on TikTok, that bled over to 60K followers on his own profile. Like, and that's why I'm really proud of like Tratter House, because one of our main missions is just to help people and give back.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool just to like show Will the ropes of like, hey, this is what TikTok is, and this is how you can utilize it to help your career.
Yeah. Well, you know better than anybody. A lot of these artists, they're really good at what they do. But marketing themselves, they don't realize that sometimes like you got to make an ass out yourself. Sometimes you got to be super serious. Sometimes you got to do what you have to do. I have done my best to explain to so many people that we've worked with, hey, you're not making this stuff for your hometown. You're not making this stuff for your best friends. They're probably going to think you look like a dumbass. But you're making it for the million potential people and views that it's going to see that's going to change your fucking career in your life. And Will has been more receptive to it than most people. But even with him, you about got to hold his hand, but you would have to hold my hand if you put a guitar in it and you told me I had to sing. So like
Hmm.
it's where he's great at what he does. People like you are great at marketing. You're like what y'all have done with even helping the artists and branding yourselves. Most people would have went to college to get a marketing degree and all this shit, and you figured it out. You figured out what works and what just makes sense. And most of these artists, they're so in tune with the artist side of them. They don't have any clue about the marketing side. So I appreciate people like you that find folks like Will and everybody else that y'all work with to where it's like, hey, they've got it. Let's build this shit together. Because that's what we try to do. Is that we try to do it a little different because I'm not great at the TikTok shit. I'm not great at any of this stuff. I do the real authentic stuff, but that's the reason why the show does what it does.
Yeah. No, yeah, and that thank you, man. That means a lot. And like kudos to you for everything that you've done, man. Like it's not easy, it's a grind. So but the marketing side is like I'm just really passionate about it.
Yeah,
Because going back to what you said, like artists are so in tune with their artistry that it's so hard to market for themselves.
yeah,
And when we first met with Will, it was cool because he was receptive. And when we met and then he went back to Georgia, there was a little bit of a fire under his ass to go like record some stuff.
yeah,
Because I basically told him, I'm like, dude, TikTok ain't that deep. I said you have such a raw, real connection and talent with your voice alone that you don't need to do all this high fancy editing. Like your voice comes through that microphone on that phone like no other, and
yeah.
people will receive it. I gave him
Like
little
butter,
tips and
baby, like
tricks.
butter.
Yeah. I gave him little tips and tricks for like maybe you can do it in the shower, like, some,
Just the
places where the
acoustics is
where the
adding the
acoustics
acoustics.
are
Yeah,
better. Yeah. And he was just super receptive, started playing songs he loved. And I also reminded him, I was like, don't like, I mean, you can play songs from the comments, but like ultimately, like you got to play for you. You're doing this for you. The second that you're trying to do it for somebody else, you're kind of gonna get lost in your artistry. And that's similar for me because like I grew my platform first and I made videos because I wanted to make them.
yeah,
I didn't make them because I thought, you know, I was gonna get famous or I thought I was gonna get money. I was just doing it for fun,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I
So
thought I was going to snatch his ass through the phone last night. Uh, so I got him. I was like, "Hey, look, dude, while the heat's hot on you, you don't got but one more full day. Go live for a little bit when you get home. Only play your songs. Do it for about 30 minutes. Keep sharing this story about how you're where you're sitting down on the charts, that Beyonce's on top of it, that Luke Combs is right behind her. Like, just keep pushing that to where people go look you up. And God bless that big baby. He, as soon as somebody would come through and be like, hey, you want to play Waylon Jennings song? He'd be like, hell yeah, I do. He would just have fun with it. He'd forget.
hmm
He'd forget so quick because he's such a good entertainer. And he was trying to make people in the comment section, all that, be happy. He'd forget what we were doing there in the first place. I thought I was going to go to his house and just literally hold him and be like, will you have to do this?
Yeah, and I was on that live stream last night too, and like just to see like 600 people come through and be like, "Dude, next winner of American Idol," like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's just the start of something special. And he's again, that was his first live stream, and he's having fun with it. He's like, "I don't know what I'm doing," but he's
It,
just freaking doing it.
It tickled me. I've told him for the past couple weeks, ever since I've seen like the sad story that ended the first episode with the girl and her family that was estranged, and then last week, whatever it was a really good story she had too. I was like, look, Will, you've got the talent. I was like, but what we're gonna have to do is like we're gonna have to go like kidnap your dog, shoot your girlfriend in the leg. We're gonna have to do something to give you a sad story because you don't have one. But I think he's going to connect so good with the audience, and there's people saying that stuff in the comment section last night, and the way they're literally hyping him up in all the videos and everything. I don't even know if he's got to have a sad story. I think that literally his talent has a chance to shine through, and I hope that everybody that's listening now, that's listening to your stuff, my stuff, all of Wheels, it's like this dude's different. This guy stands out. He is special. Let's back the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and that's why like, Idol, there's always some or even like The Voice, there's always some sort of sad, PR marketing move. And I think honestly that's just like that's legit Will's story because sometimes like Hollywood tends to make it more than it is
Yeah.
or just for like to pull on the heartstrings, but like us personally knowing Will, like that's really what it was.
Yeah.
And it's just a testament to who Will is. Like he's true to himself, always will be. His story is his story. And again, that's just going to be a strength, not a weakness, you know?
Well, I'm just excited for everybody else to see what me and you already know, and what everybody down in Georgia knows. The folks that's up in Nashville now, that I'm just excited for to see this play out, and I'm appreciative of you for helping him out so much. Uh, yeah, dude, I just hope we all keep working together as one big ass family. Put this baby on top, and then I'm riding them coattails, bro. I'm tour manager or something. I'm gonna keep doing my show. This is all I do for a living anyway. I don't know why I'm complaining about it, but like I'm ready to get in some good concerts. I'm ready to throw down on the road.
Absolutely. You tour manager, me social media manager.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I'll just be the babysitter. Y'all take care of everything else because that's what he's gonna need. That's the only thing we were joking about it other night, me and his buddy Walker. I don't know if you've met Walker yet, but Walker is a trip. He is Wheels ride or die down here. Like he is a really good dude. I love him to death. Uh, but we were like, man, don't neither one of us ever want to like manage him really. We just kind of want to babysit because
Uh-huh.
he's literally he's going to be like a babe in Wonderland or whatever. He's going to be lost everywhere he goes because he's just going to be amazed by everything.
I know he hasn't even been to Texas yet. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I was told Will, I was like, just come on out, bro. Just come on out. We'll find you a stage. Like,
Oh, dude, we Texas is different anyway. Y'all are the best people. I went on a show trip like a year or two ago. We had to record in a couple of different cities. Then we ended up in Fort Worth to finish it off to record some with some people there. And I've never been to a place that people mind their manners more, that have more respect, the hospitality. I thought we were good down here in South Georgia. We about don't have shit on y'all in Texas. But I guess it's because everybody from your grandma to a damn baby's got a gun and everybody knows how to act right. Um, but y'all are just the best, and I know that's something me and him have talked about is getting him out to Texas and playing some shows. So maybe we can line some stuff up together and make some shit happen.
absolutely, we'll make some good content too. So
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
dude.
yeah, and Texas it's just built different. Like I have a couple buddies moving here that don't know what to expect, and I'm like, it's just better.
It's heaven.
I ain't originally from Texas, but when I moved here, I was like, man, these are my people. You
Where are you
know,
originally from?
I grew up on the East Coast in Maryland.
Okay, yeah, I would have never
Yeah,
guessed that. You are Texas through and through, dude.
I'm trying, man.
You're doing a
So
good job.
thank you, because I mean, like, and that's why speaking to like the whole marketing side, I was actually a mechanical engineer before all this. I worked for the
Okay.
government, and I think I just was really trained to solve problems. And one of my gifts is just seeing marketing from a different perspective.
It's
So I think
cool.
that's just what's been cool with Will is like I'm able to take that twist and just help wherever I can and whenever I can. So.
That's cool, dude. Well, I just want to remind all of y'all before we get off here. First off, you're gonna have to come back and do a full episode. Like this was just where we were supposed to kiss Will's ass, but
All
me and
right.
you can probably sit here and run our mouths all day. We'll talk about y'all's brand and everything else. Which make sure you drop that in a second so we can, maybe some people go order some shit and everything from y'all. But please, you guys, remember what this one was about. Wasn't about me or Nick. Is literally Will Mosley. He's got a chance to do something special, something that I don't think anybody's done in Idol history. He literally has jumped up 196 spots, 198 at one point from not being on the charts at all to where he's sitting at 2 to 4 right now. And if you'll go download, you'll go stream on iTunes, you'll go buy the song, you'll leave a rating, you'll leave a review on the song. He's got a chance to get to number one, and I don't think anybody's done that. And Nick, he wouldn't be there without y'all helping him. And I can't tell you from a big brother's point of view how much I appreciate the shit out of y'all and what y'all done for him.
Well, thank you. We appreciate y'all as well. And like I said, it's a team effort here, man.
Well, cool, dude. Well, drop your social media shit and we'll get out of here, brother.
Yes, sir. I mean, my personal is just at the Nick Luciano across all pages, and then the group page that helped kind of boost Will up is the Tratter House. So at the Tratter House or at Tratter House on all socials.
And if y'all are confused about that, I will tag them in this post when we put it on Instagram. So it should be pretty damn easy to find. Hopefully, y'all will share it. We'll get some traction. But anyway, dude, I appreciate it. You need to come to one of our Nashville trips. I don't know why the hell I didn't mention that till now. When we go out there and record for a week, we're there all next week with Will. Yeah, you need to come jump on one of those with us.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll shoot you my number and we can set it up.
Sounds good, dude. All right, brother. Well, I'll holler at you later. And thank each and every one of y'all for listening to the show. Please go check out Will Mosley now. Download not just Gone for Good, but his whole catalog. Let's put him at number one. God bless y'all. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all later.